What is up, boys and girls? Welcome back to another episode of Chicken Bone Alley, brought to you by SRI Performance, Stock Car, Steel and Aluminum. Our buddy Randy Keene over there, RK Motorsports Consulting, and Earl Ramey Racing Engines. Tongue tied today for some reason.
There it is.
There it is. What's up? I'm David.
I'm Sterling. What's up, y'all?
Oh, are you gonna live over there?
No, I don't think so.
You itching, Bo? You itching?
It's not really itching. It's just like it feels like needles. Like I don't know what it is.
Well, one day you'll learn to keep shirt on out there on the boat.
I think I got second-degree sun poisoning. Is that a thing?
Second-degree sun poisoning? Dang. Pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Yeah, I'll get through it. If I have to leave here, if y'all don't hear me for a while, I'm jumping in a hot shower and I'll be right back because that relieves it for about 15, 20 minutes.
Or seconds. Could you come out the shower a little while ago talking about sorry itching?
It is, bro. It's about to drive me insane.
Yeah, anyway, if you can't tell, we went out on the boat this past weekend and it got hairy.
Well, it wasn't that bad.
It was pretty bad.
It really wasn't that bad. It was just windy. And the wind was in our face, so we got soaked for 55 miles.
4.5 hours.
4.5 hours. We got smashed there, but I mean it was fine. We just couldn't run. We couldn't run hard because of the wind where it was pushing right back at us.
I just know I was real happy when all of a sudden I started seeing a couple buoys out there and could see some rocks in the distance.
I mean, it was fun. The whole trip was fun. Hated that the wind picked up. It was supposed to go down. I was supposed to get better throughout the day, and it did not do that at all. But yeah, we left out of Georgetown. Went through Winyah Bay. Perfect. It was perfect in there. 6 o'clock roughly?
Yeah.
Saturday morning. Pushed out of there, no problem. And we hit some rock piles. We started out about 45 or so miles, and then we went a little further from there. But it was nice in the morning, man. It was. We caught fish left and right, a pile of fish. And I guess about 11 o'clock, I started noticing getting a little worse. A little worse. I didn't say nothing. I was just saying, okay, it's getting a little worse. And then about 12:30, it started whitecapping. Terrible.
Yeah.
Out there. So I knew the wind was going to be bad, and it was to our back at that point. I said, okay. It's going to be a fun ride home.
I'm pretty sure you could have got on a surfboard at about 55 miles out.
Yeah, it was choppy. The sea, the which is weird, but the swells were not bad. The swells were actually good.
Yeah, it wasn't that it was that high. It's just they were every
it was choppy.
quarter second.
It was the wind that made it like that. I mean, the swells were fine, but yeah, it was a experience for sure. But we had a good time. Water was beautiful, pretty blue water. Caught all kind of stuff. Caught an albacore, jack, pretty nice, about 34, 35 inches, and a pile of Vermilion snapper. We're going for red snapper because that was our one of 3 days in the year that we can go snag us one, but we did not get on him because our day had to end short because we had almost 5-hour ride back.
Yeah.
But anyway, caught a pile of Vermilion, pile of grunts, triggers, porgies, stingrays.
There was a couple sea bass out there.
Yeah, we caught a pile of fish. So it was fun nonetheless. It was a good time. Didn't get to fish as long as we wanted to, but we enjoyed it. I don't know if Dave's going back, though.
No, I'm good.
I don't think he's going to get out there again.
I'm good. I was, I have vertigo anyway, so I take some medicine for it, which it already kind of knocks me out. Well, about the time I was feeling okay enough to stand up was about the time it got worse out there, and I no longer felt like standing up anymore.
Yeah, it got pretty.
So I'm like, nope, and then coming back, it was just like, when we say wet, it wasn't like we just got a little bit of water sprayed on us. No. It was like somebody standing at the front of the boat, taking a 5-gallon bucket and just constantly throwing it on you.
Oh yeah,
constantly.
The waves was pushing over the whole entire boat.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So yeah, but it wasn't that bad. It wasn't like it was. It wasn't. Let me tell you that bad. It wasn't the waves. It was the bow.
Yeah, it's just bow spill over the front.
It was just the wind was pushing it over the boat.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like the seas were that bad. They weren't. It was just.
I just know your bilge pump was pumping.
Thing worked good, man. It never shut off the whole way back home, I believe. But yeah, we I think we pushed for about 15 miles and stopped and jumped in the water for a little while and got in. You know, that felt really good and really pretty water. So we enjoyed that. A little swim, about 35 miles offshore, so that was cool. And we kept on pushing. We stopped a little bit. We go and we stop a little bit. Because I tell you what, very hard to see when you got salt water in your eyes trying to see where waves are breaking. That was tough.
I told Sterling I was going to give him some Earnhardt goggles and spray some Rain X on them next time.
I needed me some SRI tear-off. I needed.
That's exactly what you needed.
I had to run out, though, I believe.
Quickly.
Yeah.
I know when I got home, I'm pretty sure my shirt and my pants and everything else could have stood up by itself. It was just covered in salt.
Yeah, it was definitely an experience, but it was good. I enjoyed it. I'll do it again any day for sure. So, but yeah, I just hate that it ended short. But it is what it is. At least we enjoyed while we were out there. Well, we did. I don't know if David really enjoyed it. I can't really say we as a whole.
I actually did not mind sitting there while y'all were catching fish. I was literally about to get up and go grab a pole. I was about to. Then I got out the notion when I couldn't stand up in the boat. Not from not being able to stand up in the boat because of my head, just I couldn't stand up in the boat hardly.
Yeah, sea legs. You had to get your sea legs pretty good there. It took me a few minutes to get them, but yeah, it was. It wasn't. It's not no lake, that's for sure.
Nah. Then we got back, went to church on Sunday morning, had a good message from Pastor Mac there.
Absolutely.
And did you clean some fish yesterday afternoon?
No, actually, AB, a good buddy of ours, goes to church with us. He wanted them, so we took them all to him yesterday.
There you go.
And he's gonna clean them up. So yeah, I may get a little bit from him there and do something with it if I can figure out how to cook it.
Nothing to it. I can do that part. I got the cooking part down.
Yeah.
Oh well, guys, we have talked about this for a little while now. Going back a little ways when it was first announced, but man, we going from the ocean this past weekend. Next weekend we're gonna have something pretty cool to do. It is the 2021 Carolina Sizzler at Charlotte, the dirt track at Charlotte. So, we've had him on here before. Let's go to the phone here and talk to Mr. Dalton Lamb. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Mr. Dalton Lamb. What is going on, man? You doing all right today?
I am. It's been a nice hot day here in East Tennessee, and it's been pretty. We had a little bit of a stormy and rainy weekend, so I mean, as you know, with Smokey getting shut down twice this weekend, really stunk. But it's been a decent day today. We've had a little bit of shower, but just excited for this week, and excited to get to Saturday and Sunday night and putting on a good show over at the dirt track.
For sure, man. Yeah, you talk about Smokey got shut down twice. Even down here at Cherokee got shut down, so they didn't get nothing in this week. But that's gonna be a different circumstance this weekend because we got a 2021 Carolina Sizzler, the inaugural Carolina Sizzler. Man, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, we are too. I think there's a lot of growing buzz about it. I feel like every day, obviously, the Facebook page gets lit up with messages and comments and questions and things, and that's to be expected. And we try to be as responsive in a timely manner as possible. But it's getting closer, and as the closer it gets, it seems like more and more people are finding out about it, and so the questions raise, and you got more people that are just talking about it, which is a great thing. That's been the whole part, or the whole point of everything that we've done, is just to really raise that awareness and get people to notice it, and not really get people to notice it necessarily as a super late model heavy event, or even really just a late model heavy event, but really what we want to have the optics focused on is that it's a celebration of dirt racing as a whole, from an industry standpoint.
For sure, man. I mean, there's a lot of things that have come together for this race, and you've brought a lot of different, really a lot of different series in with with all the crate guys and everything else coming in there. Tell us again one more time all the classes you got going on.
Yeah, so we have on Saturday night we will run we've called it the ADRA front wheel drives, but the rules book and everything else that we're using is from the Southeastern Hornets Association front wheel drives. It's stock front wheel drives, and Andrew's really helped us a lot there and letting us use his rule book. He's going to help us tech and things like that for those front wheel drives on Saturday. We also have the Middies street stocks and the Middies modifieds. Middies modifieds will only have one night of racing. That's Saturday night, and they'll race there on Saturday night. We also have the American All-Star Series Pro late models. That's crate 604 late models. They'll be in action. The limited late models, it's a co-sanctioned event between the Topless Outlaws and the Steel Block Bandit Challenge series over there in North Carolina. They're co-sanctioning the limited late models portion. And then we will also have the Red Clay Series 602 late models in action on Saturday night. And then on Sunday, it's the exact same series with the exception of we switch out the Middies modifieds with the ADRA super late models there on Sunday night, who will anchor the Sunday evening racing.
Man, and not only a lot of classes going up, everything we've seen, man, a lot of money getting paid out to these guys this weekend.
Yeah, there's a lot of money flowing around, and I think that I know that you've probably seen it there on Facebook. Just today, we posted out a new initiative. We've had the Pack the Track thing going for a while, and really that's just a spinoff of the fan challenge that we were going to do over at Beckley a couple weeks ago. And that Pack the Track is there to also increase the purse amounts, but we wanted to give fans a way to, without even purchasing a ticket, without doing anything to actually watch the race, we wanted the grassroots community to have an opportunity to affect the purse amounts. And so, Saturday night, it's more of like a weekly series top purse amount, or a weekly show that you might see. They're still pretty good payouts when you look at the fact that all of the series are receiving decent amounts of money in their purses. But then on Sunday, we're really stepping it up and paying out. I think, and again, these numbers are probably going to change before Sunday rolls around. But on a base purse amount, you're looking at $20,000 to win for the super lates, $10,000 to win for the 604 crates, $5,000 to win for the limited late models, $2,500 to win for the 602 late models, $1,500 to win for the street stocks, and then $1,200 to win for the front wheel drives. So I mean, it's going to be a lot of money paid out there. But again, the money's great. I think that's what attracts a lot of your drivers, and really those purse amounts really, turn some heads on the fan side. But we want this to really be a celebration, and so we've tried to, put in some extra flair and some extra components to the weekend to make that the case.
Man, I've seen a lot of that. How y'all bringing some history to the track. Saw you put out a post last night about some old school stuff coming in there.
Yeah. So we, I was alerted to the fact that the Lost Speedways Season 2, Episode 2, talked about the Jim Dunn story, and that was a story that actually I'd never heard before. I'd never heard of it before. I knew about Pennsboro Speedway. I knew about the Dirt Track World Championship. I kind of had a little bit of an idea of the fact that it had went away from Pennsboro, obviously, but I'd never heard the Jim Dunn story, and the miracle of that that weekend. And really, as I was watching that as a race fan, I was like, man, that's really awesome. And whenever they brought out at the end of that episode, whenever Dale Jr. and Matthew Dillon are there, they brought out the Jim Dunn car, and it rolled out onto the track, and they had Rocky Carr and everybody there gathered around and talking and stuff. I was like, man, I want to try my best. Like, it's probably not going to be possible because this is literally like a week ago. So I'm like, it's probably not going to be possible, but in the world that we live in, it's pretty easy to get in touch with people. And so I looked up Rocky and his wife on Facebook, and I noticed that Rocky hadn't made a post on Facebook in a year or so, but his wife had posted recently. So I messaged her, and luckily she responded to me about midnight that same night, and she had told me that Rocky was working. Rocky's working third shift, and so he gets in the next morning. He gives me a call, and I didn't expect it, but I got the call, and it was from Zanesville, Ohio, and I was like, I bet this is Rocky, or at least I hope this is Rocky. And so I answered it, and sure enough, it was him. And so we talked, and I remember, I just told him why I wanted him and her to be there, because that's really all I wanted at first, was for those two to come down and just be with us. I just wanted to talk to him. I just wanted him to be a part of it, because to me, like, as I said in the post, our sport, especially super late models, our sport is standing on the shoulders of giants like Jim Dunn and guys like Rocky, who helped make it happen back when it was really more about passion than it was about money. And so I just wanted him here, and he got really quiet. I didn't really know what to say, because after I finished talking, he was dead silent for like at least 30 seconds. And I was like, Rocky, are you there? And so he finally responds. He's like, I'm just a normal guy. He's like, I don't understand. He said, I never realized that show would have that much reach. He said, do you really think that a lot of people have seen that episode? And I was like, man, there are a lot of people who've seen that episode.
Oh, yes.
And I said, there's a lot more people who, even without seeing that episode, they know the Jim Dunn story, and they're going to be, excited to have that piece of history with us, and at least having you. And so, long story short, one thing led to another, and I got talking with him, and he said that he wouldn't feel right coming unless he invited the other guys. And so Ashley Ness called me the very next day, and he started talking to me about it. And before you know it, that's on Friday of last week. And, last night, on Sunday night, Ashley texts me and says, hey, we're in. And he gave me everybody that they needed and how many hotel rooms they needed. And he just said, we're going to be down there. We're excited. And he had mentioned that they would use the Jim Dunn car for the 4-wide salute. And I was ecstatic about that.
Wow.
So, so they're going to be there. They're going to be in the pits area over there next to Vendor Row. And they're going to have their cars set up there. And they're going to be there willing to talk with people, and they're doing something really cool. They're partnered up with Bill Blair Jr., and I don't know if that name means anything to you, but they're partnered up with Bill Blair Jr. and some of the guys from, they're trying to put together a museum type, traveling museum almost, I guess, and they're really trying to keep the history of the sport together and create some interest in the history of the sport. And so they're going to actually, not only are they going to be there to tell stories and talk and things, but they're going to be there to actually advertise some of the things that they're doing, in a couple of weeks in Mount Airy, North Carolina, and then also at Pennsboro Speedway in September. So it's going to just be an exciting time. I think that there's going to be a lot of drivers and fans that are going to swarm the car over there and talk with them. So I'm excited about that.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be huge, man. That's going to be huge. That's cool. It's cool to see the history of the sport like that, and especially for younger fans even coming in and seeing first of all just cars like that, but then learning the whole story behind them. That's cool, and that's what keeps the sport alive. But also, man, you've had some driver announcements that you've made over the past couple of days. Tell us some of the names you got coming.
Yeah, so the ones that we've announced, we've got Devin Moran coming. He and I spoke today, again today. Devin's coming down, and then Brandon Overton is coming over. He's planning to be over there. Ross Bales is coming over. We've got we've got a lot of people that are talking. We've got some, I will say, rumors. There's been no confirmation from some people. I will say that there is one Lucas driver, one pretty popular Lucas driver. I'm not going to mention names because, again, if I don't want to say somebody's coming and then they not show up and it looks bad on them or us, but there is a very, very popular Lucas driver who is very high on the points list, who has already made the arrangement to get a third car ready, and they're going to send their third car on down to Charlotte, and then after the Diamond Nationals on Saturday night, they're going to fly from Missouri to Charlotte to race. And then we've got some inklings of some other super late model drivers from a Northeast Tennessee shop that may be there. Again, nothing confirmed. Nothing confirmed, but we've heard rumors and inklings. But Trevor Bain, I think that Joe with the American All-Star Series, he confirmed that today. That Trevor Bain is going to be there with the crates. And so, to me, honestly, there's going to be a ton, especially in the super late models, because with Friday night, with Ray Cook Series, the Southern National Series running Friday night for 10,000 to win at Beckley, and then Saturday night for 10,000 at With, there's going to be a lot, I feel like, because they run again on Monday at Volunteer for 4,000 to win. There's going to be a lot of those guys that are following that series, and then just local and regional guys that drive super late models that I think are going to be at the event. And, as a fan, I like it whenever I know, some of the bigger names that are going to be there. But also as a fan and really just as a guy who really likes racing in general, not necessarily just any particular class, one thing that I've made very clear there's been a lot of people message the page and say, hey, do you have a full driver's list for super late model series? And we're like, well, we've made a couple announcements, and if we get any of these other guys that we've heard rumors of, if they call us and say, yeah, we're in for sure, then yeah, we'll make those announcements for those guys, because I think that helps not only bring fans to the table, but it also kind of gives credence to people wanting to watch the event even on pay-per-view. So we'll announce those whenever we get them, but really, I mean, I'm excited to see some of these local and regional guys that show up, because over here in East Tennessee, super late models, they've not really been a regular top class that's been ran since, the early 2000s. And I remember back whenever I was growing up, Volunteer used to have a super late model class that used to run quite often. Vic Hill used to win all the time over here. And now it's just not run anymore because it's so expensive. But over in the Carolinas, I mean, you've got the Carolina Clash and you've got the Ultimate, late models and all these different classes and stuff. And so I'm just excited to see some of those guys run, some guys that maybe I don't know who they are, but they're very good drivers. So,
yeah, man, for sure. And me and Sterling were actually talking about it the other day, and I think we might mention it last week on here that the Carolina Clash Tour is going to be running over at Fayetteville Saturday night. So I really feel like a lot of those guys probably going to make the drive down the road and come over to Charlotte on Sunday. So that's probably going to be a good. I really, really feel like there's going to be a awesome turnout on super late models. I really do. But not only that, I mean, all the other classes coming out. I mean, one, like you said, it's just the history and getting this event started, and hopefully it'll be a staple for years to come. But also, there's a lot of these guys, I know you said some of it, was kind of like a regular Saturday night payout, but some of these guys don't race for that much, and they want to come try their hand at it. So I really feel like you're gonna get some of these guys out the woodworks out there.
I hope so. I mean, I know that last year whenever I helped with the Crate Late Model National Championship over at Volunteer Speedway, we did pre-registration for it, and I think we may have had 3 cars that pre-registered. 3. Right. And we were at that point, we were like, man, I mean, what's this going to be like? I'm not really sure what the turnout's going to be like. And then the very first night, we had 74 cars there. So, we've got right now, I think the last time that I looked at our pre-registration list, and this isn't like in any particular class, this is just as a total, we have around 170-ish drivers that have pre-registered already. And we know just in talking to Joe Rush with the American All-Star Series, talked with him yesterday, and there are only 24 604 crates that he knows that follow his series. There's only 23 or 24 of those that have signed up, pre-registered, but there's 40 or more that have already told him they're coming. So,
wow.
Right there, I think that's going to kind of be the tail of the tape in every series, not just super late models and the crates, but I mean in street stocks and front wheel drive and all of that stuff. I know that we've got a couple of guys that are coming, in street stock and the Mid-East modified class that's running there. We've got guys that are coming from upstate New York. We've got guys that are coming from Pennsylvania. We've got several guys coming up from Florida and Georgia. Obviously, you've got a bunch of the Carolinas and Virginia and Tennessee and things in Kentucky. But I really think that we have, with the exception of maybe 3 or 4 states, we have at least one driver from every state on the eastern seaboard, and then even into the Appalachian region, all the way down into Georgia. So, I mean, we got drivers coming from everywhere across multiple classes. So, that's just the guys that are coming from far away. And then, whoever shows up the night of, that's, an hour or 2 drive away. So I think it's going to be nuts. I think it's going to be wild. I think, in talking with the guys over at Charlotte, man, they've I can't express how thankful I am for guys like Matt Long and guys like Eric Singhaus, who they've helped me tremendously in planning this event and helping me, asking questions that I didn't know to ask. Eric has gone so far above and beyond. He's put together know before you go documents that we're going to be sharing out here soon. He's put together maps that give kind of trailways on how how traffic needs to flow and how we're going to get cars to come up to stage and grid. I mean, he's done all that stuff to really help with the flow of things. But even they have felt like since the beginning, whenever we started talking about this event, that it was going to be a big event, but it was going to be like a big local regional event. But the sense that I'm getting over the last, week or so is that this event's starting to kind of pick up some steam here about 4 or 5 days before. And I'm really excited to see what it turns out to be.
Well, I think you already know this probably, but if other people don't anyway, race car drivers are procrastinators. They'll tell you all week long, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it to the track this week. I don't have the car together. But somehow Friday night that car is together and they are on their way to the track. They will drive all night to make it to that track on Saturday. So I really think everything's gonna be just fine when it comes to car count. I mean, I don't think there's gonna be no issues there because you're putting everything together right that I see to have. It's one of them things, if you build it, they will come. So I think they'll be there. Tell everybody where they can get their tickets for it.
Say that again.
I said, if you can, tell everybody where they can get tickets for this.
Yeah. So you can go onto our Facebook page. There's a couple of different ways you can go about it. On our Facebook page, you can go and find the event, the Carolina Sizzler. There is a link there on the event that's directly to the ticket website. It's an events.com website. It's also linked in several of our posts. It's also linked in several of the Dirt Track at Charlotte's posts on Facebook and Twitter. And then one question that we get asked a lot is that, can I buy tickets at the track? And you absolutely can. We're not going to, I hope we sell out, but we're not going to sell out pre-sale tickets. That's just not going to happen. So, yeah, there's absolutely going to be tickets available at the track. So you can, if you don't want to buy them pre-sale because maybe you're afraid of the weather or, if you're an hour or 2 hour drive away from the track and you're kind of waiting to see either A, if you've got the freedom and ability to go, or B, if the weather's going to hold up, whatever the case may be, you're perfectly fine to come on and buy tickets at the track. If you want to buy them pre-sale, hop on Facebook, go to our event page there. You can click on that link, or you can find any number of posts that have the ticket link put on there.
Good deal, man. It's gonna be a fun time. I'm ready for it, man. And also, they can stream this live. How can you get that?
Yep. So that is our company, Grassroots Sports TV. So you can stream that live by going to www.grsportstv.com. And so when you go there, and I'll say this too, we're not actually going to offer a pay-per-view viewing. We're going to do a subscription only. So the only way that you're going to watch this is to have a monthly or 3-month or an annual subscription. Any of those subscription levels will get access to both days, and you can cancel at any time. So really, if you wanted to watch both days and you can't make it out to the track, our monthly subscription is $20 a month. So you could pay $20 and you could watch both nights of racing. And then as soon as the race is over, you could cancel your subscription and not have to worry about being charged anymore. So ultimately, you're going to essentially be able to pay $20 and watch both nights. And we actually have some people that subscribed to watch the Beckley USA 100 a couple weeks ago. And because that race was in July, and when they purchased their subscription, it gave them 30 days access. So their $20 for the month of July is going to grant them access to the Beckley USA 100 and then both nights of the Sizzler.
Well, dang. You can't beat that with a stick.
No. And, you can cancel any time, but we got a lot more stuff that we're going to be doing. I mean, not only are we following the series that we've been following, but, there's going to be a lot more super late model stuff coming up in the future and probably even near future that we've not announced yet.
Good deal. That makes me even more excited. More cool stuff coming up.
Yeah, that's one thing I like, man. I'm never gonna quit trying to add new things that I think people are gonna enjoy because, it's things I enjoy. Basically, that's what I do. If I think that I would like it, then I feel like other people would like it, and so I want to try to make it happen.
That's it, man. Well, what time are the festivities getting started at the track there this weekend?
So on Friday night, we're going to have an early load-in for haulers, and that's going to be from 5 to 7. On Friday night, you can come in and load in anytime in that 2-hour window. Saturday, the pit gates will open at 12. Grandstand gates will open at 4. So you can come in. Your pit gates will open at 12. You can come in if you've not already come in from 5 to 7 the night before. You can come in, park your hauler, get set up and everything, and then you've got tech after that. And we won't start hot laps. Hot laps will start at 5:30 both nights. So if you're a fan and you're just coming out to watch, grandstand gates won't open until 4. Hot laps start at 5. And what I will tell you is that, if you've ever been to the World Short Track Championships and you've seen kind of how they flow things, that's exactly what we're going to try to mimic, probably just on a bigger scale because I think we're going to have a little bit more cars. At least I hope we do. And so it's going to be fast-paced. There's going to be a ton of action. There's hopefully never going to be, unless there's an accident of some kind, it's going to be one of those scenarios in which cars are never going to be never off the track. You're going to have one group roll on, one group roll off the whole night, wheels on the track, everything else. So
awesome, man. Awesome. Man, I can't wait for it. This is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to get there and get on the grounds and just see all the action, man. It's going to be awesome.
All right. Well, guys, I'm excited to have you guys out. I want you guys to even if you've got the ability to broadcast live, come up in the booth and hang out with us. I'd like to meet with you and talk with you and broadcast live from the track with us, interview with us. We'd love to see you, hang out. And, you've been such a big help in helping us push this out. And we can't thank you enough, man.
Well, we appreciate it, man. We appreciate being able to be a small part of it, and we will definitely be there with bells on to say and cameras rolling and ready and talking to as many people as we can. So we will definitely do it, and we will definitely can't wait to see you there, man.
All right. Well, you guys have a good one.
You too, buddy. All right, everybody. I want to thank Mr. Dalton Lamb for coming on here and hanging out with us again, and y'all will definitely be hearing from him again and probably seeing him on some of our social media, probably live here over the weekend, getting down and dirty at the dirt track at Charlotte.
Yes, sir. It's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be, anytime you can get some racing there. I like it. So, and it's going to be a packed house, I think. Anytime they do anything there, Charlotte, it's pretty packed. So a lot of guys are going to want to come check it out. Going to want to come run it for sure. So I know it's going to be a good show.
For sure. I'm ready for it. I'm excited. Been looking. The anticipation has been killing me. I've been talking about this for months, and it's finally here.
I know. Since what, January or something?
It feels like it.
I don't know. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. I think it was like the day it come out, literally. I messaged Dalton, and we got the ball rolling on our side, and he got it rolling on his side, and we've been talking about it ever since. So that's been cool. So y'all come out. If you in the area, if you're not in the area, come on, make a weekend of it. Where else you going to find a weekend of racing at one place this weekend? Come to the dirt track at Charlotte. Check out the 2021 Carolina Sizzler. I promise you it'll have some type of racing you like.
Oh, for sure. No doubt.
Because there's all kind of classes there.
Yep.
And I know I've seen Jeremy Steele, he's going. I know Willie Milliken said he's going. So there's quite a few of them that are our buddies that are getting ready to head over there and make a weekend of it.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see a lot of good guys over there. A lot of people that shop at SRI will be there for sure. That's right down the road, so that'll be good to know.
We might just have to leave early and run over to SRI ourselves.
Yeah, you never know.
It could happen.
Might go shopping a little bit.
It could happen. Who knows? Well, speaking of SRI, so we got Greg Martin here on the line now, and he's a Team SRI driver. And man, Greg, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Just trying to catch up on my sleep, I guess.
You've had a busy past few days, hadn't you?
Yes, we have. We've been, for us, we're just weekend guys, but we did 5 races in 8 nights, so a lot of traveling, and it was fun. And now it's time to sit back and relax after we fix up this car.
I hear you there, man. Well, we will definitely get into that here in a little while, but we want to get into getting to know you a little bit better. Like I said, you are one of our Team SRI drivers, and but let's get to know you a little more. Where are you from? I bet.
I'm up near Niagara Falls, New York, from Wilson.
Okay, good deal. Good deal.
Yeah.
And we know obviously you drive the modifieds. What classes are you mainly running? Or you run all those modified classes?
Yeah, I run a 358 dirt modified, and we run with the big blocks sometimes, but only on select tracks so we can really keep up the momentum and stuff, and keep up with them guys. But we run weekly at Ransomville Speedway up here, and sometimes we head out to Central New York, out to Bolton, Weedsport. We've been all the way up, Can-Am. Okay. And that's what we do. We just travel all over.
Good deal, man. Yeah, y'all got some crazy. We were just talking about that. Y'all race some crazy schedules up there. We were just looking at our buddy Derek McGrew Jr. He's up there racing somewhere tonight, and I was like, man, they race every night up there.
They do. We've got a bunch of different series up here, and you can pick a series and follow it, or you can have a bunch of cars and follow them all. And yeah, they actually every night this week. Up here with the Northeaster Modified, you can race starting tonight all the way through the weekend.
Wow, that's crazy. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool as on the what, but it's crazy at the same time. Oh, well, good deal. Well, let's go back a little bit with you, man. Where did you get your start in racing?
I've been racing when Ransomville Speedway built the go-kart track. I think it was 1992. We started racing go-karts right there because that's right around the corner from my parents' house. And so we started in go-karts, and then I got into TQ midgets on the asphalt when I turned 18. And then I ran some asphalt sportsman stuff for a while, and then got into the dirt stuff when I was 21.
And it's been all downhill since. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, that's when they say we all go crazy. It's like, oh, here goes. They found a dirt. There they go. Nah, that's cool, man. Good deal. Well, tell us about your season. How's it going so far?
We're doing good. We're cracking the top 5. We're just missing out on wins. I feel like we're there. We just need a little luck. Just can't get. When we got the speed, we don't have the starting position, and when we got the starting position, we don't have the speed. So, we're really just cracking the top 5, and we're there. We got a lot of really stout guys up here at Ransomville every week. So, just to be there with them is really, is what we're after. But we're just got to keep digging and keep going.
For sure, man. And that's another thing about up there with you Northeast modified guys is everybody I talk to is like, oh, we got stout fields at this track. We got, and y'all do. That's the crazy thing is like every track has so many guys that are so good in the modifieds up there. I mean, it's like, I mean, every racer lives it, but y'all live it up there. I mean, everybody just is on, minds their P's and Q's, and they're on it every week.
Yeah, well, that's what, like I said, with all the different series and all the different racing you can do, inevitably, all of our home tracks have a handful of guys that do race, 150 nights a week or, 100, 150 nights a week. And that's the more you race, the better you are. And, these guys are hooked up and connected, and they've got, money behind them and talent behind them. And, they race all the time. So in order to beat that, you really need to dig deep and work hard on your own stuff. And, and ultimately get a lot of support along the way, yourself.
Yeah, man. Definitely understand that. Well, we know you get we'll say support. Our buddy Randy Keene, he knows his stuff about brakes, especially. And we know he does some work with you on your brakes on your car, running some PFCs on there. And tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. In 2020, I was selected to Team PFC, and I knew Randy from before, and so it was kind of great, great deal, meeting up with Randy and being able to work with him, because with his engineering side and me already having the PFC stuff. And being familiar with it, we figured we could team up together and really make the most out of having the performance brake systems, So when he went with SRI, I'm like, heck yeah, like let's do this, let's work together. And it's really difficult to tell people just how important braking is, because we're in the business of going faster, not slower. But really, when you can get good performance brakes and get people behind it that understand it and understand the whys and how everything works, that's really what making the best out of them that works.
For sure. And like we said before on here many times, Randy definitely knows his stuff about it, and he can. We've been at track with him, and guys will come up there and tell him, what the car's doing under brake. He'll be like, oh, we need to change to this pad, we need to change a little bit of pressure here, and I mean, boom, he's on it, which is crazy. Which is crazy because he's not in a car anymore ever. So he knows it. He knows his stuff. Yeah,
and it's great. Randy, he's introduced me to other people throughout the industry. With Draco and Andy May and stuff like that. So man, just the more people the more help you can get, and that's what this is about. It's all about connections and getting the help where you need it and support when you need it. And like Randy, we've already made a few changes on my car this year, and everything's for the better since we made changes. He's definitely tuning me in, and just stuff like that. It really helps. It really helps when you have the knowledge, so you don't have to gamble on spending a couple $100 on something that you're guessing on. And so you can call up, get an expert opinion, and make the deal, and then you really fully expect that your car will be better.
100%, man. 100%. You also mentioned Draco Springs in there. Tell us about them Draco Springs a little bit.
Those Dracos, the springs are great. Andy May, when we talked to him, he is just above and beyond intelligent. So really getting from you talk to these people who are all salesmen, in the salesman guys, they'll sell you anything, but when you actually talk to a spring engineer, that's what you want to know. I want to know what is going to help me, what is going to work for me, and why. And that's what we really work on with Draco, and that's really what we're honing in on.
For sure, man. And that's what me and Sterling always said we loved about SRI there, because it's not just salesmen, as you just said. Everybody knows their parts up there, knows what they got, knows what you need. When you say, you get the technical support, the technical side, and that's a big help for a lot of guys.
Yeah, and that's where we need, as a small team, we really tend to need that technical support, because those we race 50 times a year, but those other guys that are racing 150 times, they have 3 times the technology that they can test with themselves, and so when I'm trying to compete with that, I need someone who has their hands in everybody's cookie jar, you know what I mean?
That's
that
right.
really understand what's going on, and it can really give me tune me in, like I said, in 1/3 the amount of time.
For sure, man. Well, that's good to hear, and we love to hear good testimonials about SRI and our buddies up there. But we know you just had, like you were saying before, you was a little tired coming off of a lot of nights of racing. You had 5 races in 8 nights. Give us a little rundown of how everything went.
Oh, well, it went good. We had to run a couple different series, and we only have one car right now. So we came home Friday night after running Ransomville with the top 5. We changed motors, and then we went down to Pennsylvania on Sunday. We ran that and led, and we ended up second. Late race caution kind of bit me, but and then we came back up here and switched motors back around for Tuesday, and then we ran Friday and had to change the rear end Friday night, and then we took off Saturday morning back down to Ohio, and we were running second, got a little jingle there, but we came back up to a 10th place finish there. But so we didn't quite meet our expectation there, but we had the speed, and we said it's tough for just a three guy crew, we pushed the wives to the limits on this week.
I believe it. I don't know how you didn't just fall asleep out on the racetrack, because dude, that's a lot of going.
Yes, yeah. You wake up, but in order to do this, you gotta dig deep and persevere through it. And, believe me, driving back home from Ohio, Saturday night was not easy. Rolling in, I rolled into home about 4 a.m. and then off from all the coffee and couldn't fall asleep. But so yesterday I was kind of a walking zombie, but back at the shop today, putting her back together.
What kind of maintenance you gotta do to get it back straight, get it going, ready for another one?
Well, today was a wash day. I got some body work to do. We got tire prep. We gotta grind them, sipe them, wash them, and then we gotta mount new ones because we're about cycled out on the ones we were running for this week. So got a big week. We're in the shop every day.
There you go. It can't get any faster if you ain't in there working on it every day.
Exactly.
That's what they say. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, what's up next for you, man?
For the next 2 weekends, we will be just around here at Ransomville, and then our schedule will take us every Friday night we're at Ransomville, but then our schedule will start taking us down to Pennsylvania here towards the end. Well, it's kind of sporadic in the beginning of next month, but then towards the end of August and September, we will be down into Pennsylvania a lot, and then heading into October, we'll be out in central New York a lot.
Good deal, man. That's cool to hear. It's cool to find new people that that we don't necessarily get to see a lot around in the Southeast necessarily, but we get to talk to you on here, man. And cool to find people that when we're watching on, say, Flow Racing or something like that, and all of a sudden you're at a race, it's like, hey, I know him. So
yeah,
so that's really cool, man.
Yeah, it's really great. We ran down Charlotte a few years ago, and just to introduce some of the people that aren't really familiar with our cars, everybody really seems to love them. And once we get, once they see them and they actually see how close we battle, and it's because we're a little bit different. Obviously we're slower paced than a sprint car, and a little bit different geometry than a late model. So we kind of we're beasts of the Northeast, so we definitely attract a crowd. And I think everybody that was at Bristol this year really loved it too.
Oh yes, for sure. It was all good stuff, man. Well, who all you got on the cards you want to thank?
Oh, I gotta definitely thank SRI and PFC. They really helped out. I gotta thank Valco Racing Wheels, Bicknell Racing Products, Gordon Racing Engines, Dig Race Products, and my local sponsors here, Jeffrey Machine and Bailey Brothers Landscaping and Snowplowing. They keep it going.
Good deal, buddy. Well, that is awesome, everybody. Mr. Greg Martin, our Team PFC Driver of the Week, and SRI Driver of the Week here on Chicken Bone Alley. Greg, man, we appreciate you coming on, giving us some time today, and especially on the short notice. But
Not a problem, thanks.
We appreciate it and can't wait to be looking for you on the track and checking you out, man.
All right, yeah, follow me at Greg Martin Racing and Greg Martin Racing on Facebook for any updates, guys.
Good deal. I just did it myself, so y'all go do it too. We appreciate you, man.
Hey, thank you.
All right, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate Mr. Greg Martin coming on and hanging out with us.
Yes, for sure. And Big Block Modifieds or
Northeast.
the Northeast Modifieds.
In general, any of them.
Put on an awesome show. I mean, we've seen them. We've seen them over here at Lakeview. We've seen them.
Volusia.
We've seen it at Volusia. We've seen them at Charlotte.
Yeah.
If anybody ever around here that's listening gets an opportunity to go see them for sure. They put on a heck of a show, and man, I love the 358 class.
I do too.
That's probably more. I think that's more my favorite than the big block.
Yeah.
They tight racing, not as quick like he was saying, not as quick, but it just puts on a lot better show. In some cases, it's kind of like the limited late model versus the super.
Right. Well, also, I've watched our buddy Darren McGrew over there, the sportsman, dirt car sportsman they call it, which is crates. And dude, that was a real good race.
Yeah.
Willie Milliken jumped in Derek's car and he was running another one at Lakeview one night, and man, that was a fun race to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Fun race to watch.
Yeah, for sure. So definitely go check them guys out. We appreciate him stopping by and hanging out with us.
Yep, one of our Team SRI buddies there, and
yeah, for sure.
And speaking of SRI, guys, as always, get your stuff from SRI.
Y'all gonna be like Greg, man. He was just making an order, like he said. Go do it. Get you something.
Go do it. And when you get you something, make sure you use promo code CBONE10. C is in
chicken.
BONE10. Get you 10% off at checkout. And go get all your stuff, all your Draco Springs, as I said, your PFC brakes.
Your tear-offs when you, whatever, go get them.
I imagine they got some goggles around there with some tear-offs, and send Sterling a pair of them.
Hook me up.
It's got some post on it that'll hold about 1,000 tear-offs for saltwater.
Yeah, I need those.
Or just some with windshield wipers on them.
That'd be wonderful.
Sunglasses don't work.
No.
They just turn white.
Yeah, definitely do not.
But anyway, go check them out. Also check out Stock Car Steel and Aluminum for all your metal needs, I guess you'll say. Probably even some plastics and everything else.
They got it all.
Got it all. Made them cars look good and shiny. Coming over here to the Carolina Sizzler this weekend.
Mm-hmm. Got to get them pretty. This is a big old home race for a lot of you guys. So get that stuff looking good for this weekend.
For sure. Everybody gonna be watching.
Yes.
I'll be watching. We'll probably be taking pictures of your car, so you better make sure it's looking good.
That's right.
We're gonna be taking pictures of everybody's car out there.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, guys, go check out SRI Performance. Get your, like we said, your PFC brakes, your Draco Springs, whatever else you can think of over there. Check them out and tell them we sent you. Also, our buddy Earl Ramey with Earl Ramey Racing Engines. Y'all go check him out too. This is actually kind of gonna tie into our next story here. Earl's got a lot of people run his motors. and they're real fast. Real fast, as we have said many days.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you want to be fast, get your Earl Ramey racing engine. It don't matter. Y'all heard Earl on here a few weeks ago. It don't matter if you need a super motor, you need a crate motor, you need anything in between. He'll put together one of them big block modified motors for you. He don't care. Anything. He's got you covered. He might be on a little bit of a backlog, maybe, because he's in high demand.
Yeah, you might have to wait a minute or two, but get your name on the books.
Get it on the list.
Why you getting it on the list for the motor? Get it on the list for the chassis dyno as well, because I think that's a waiting list for that too.
As many cars on it's got to be. So yeah, y'all go over there. Whenever you get that motor in the car, you throw it on the chassis dyno that he's got in shop, and check it out. See what kind of power your car is making. Add your different components that you can change out on your engine, on everything else, drive line, whatever else you can change out. See what makes the most horsepower to the rear wheels. And you can tell all that there on Earl Ramey's chassis dyno. So y'all go check him out. But how this ties into our next story is, I know y'all have heard the name Overton a little bit. Cody Overton, Lil Sexy as they call him, younger brother to Brandon Overton. Cody has drove a crate car for a long time, and he has been running Earl Ramey racing engines, winning some big shows. Won $10,000 the other week in a crate car. Well, this is so funny because it all ties in with us. We're just kind of the pivot point, I think. We're the pivot point. Some cases that's not good, but right now it's good.
Yeah. A lot of cases it's not good, but this time it is.
This time it's good. Our buddy, y'all heard on here last week, Joey Coulter with Rum Runner Racing. Cody and Joey have hooked up, and Cody's going to drive the Rum Runner Racing entry in the Southern National Tour.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
The supercar. So he's going to be making his super debut.
That's sweet.
In the number 2 car there.
Hey, it cannot hurt either that your brother is winning everything, and maybe that'll kind of feed back in to help Joey's camp a little bit more. So hey,
running the same
win-win,
running the same chassis.
Yeah, win-win.
I mean, can't hurt.
Promise you, it can't hurt.
No, I put it this way though, and I ain't taking nothing away from Cody's older brother Brandon, by no means, obviously. But I don't. Yeah, he's gonna have a learning curve stepping up from crates and limiteds and stuff like that up to a super. But that boy's a wheel man.
Yeah, he is.
He's a wheel man already. I mean, obviously driving talent just runs in that family.
Yeah, he's not gonna have any problem, I don't think, in that car for sure. And I look forward to seeing that thing in Victory Lane. For sure.
I texted Joey today. I said, good choice.
Yeah. You picked a good one there.
You picked a good one. That boy can drive. So I told him, I said, we're going to have to get both of y'all on here soon.
Yeah, for sure.
He said, for sure.
Yeah.
So
good.
Hopefully here in the next couple of weeks, we'll get him on and talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be awesome for sure. And a lot of good things happening, man. A lot of good things happening now, and it's all kind of coming together. So look forward for hopefully for a good series there for them guys. And like you say, it cannot hurt to build that team up a little bit like that. That's a good draft pick, if you will.
Yes, it is. Is for sure. Well, good deal. All right, well, as we talked about earlier, about all the other dirt racing was rained out this past weekend.
Well, there was one dirt race that I know that wasn't. That was Knoxville.
It could have been.
It was trucks, but it was. Yeah.
Our buddy Kyle Strickler went and run it.
Yeah, he did.
Going back a little bit though. I want to go back real quick. If y'all haven't seen it, y'all need to go check it out. We announced it on here last Monday night. Our new pit/special event reporter, Melissa Scarpati, was over at Wings Etc. in Gaffney, South Carolina this past weekend. Or past, no, I'm sorry, that was Wednesday night. Golly. That was last Wednesday. She was over there. It was supposed to be before the Lucas race at Cherokee. It got rained out. It got hurricaned out. And so, but anyway, they had a big time over there. If you haven't seen it, go on our page. She interviewed everybody that was over there. All our buddies, Kyle Strickler, Chris Ferguson, Trent Ivey, and she even had on Scott Bloomquist over there. So if y'all haven't seen that yet, make sure you check out our Facebook page. She was on there live, talking to all those guys, giving them some fun questions, some stuff you don't typically hear them get asked, but yet they had a lot of fun with it, and she did a good job at bringing out the personality in those guys. Which most of those guys you don't need to bring out much more personality. They show plenty anyway. That's why we like them. But anyway, like Sterling just said, the truck series was at Knoxville this past Friday night. First time they've run anywhere other than got away from Eldora. They didn't, and they ran Bristol, but I can't classify Bristol with anything. Bristol is a animal of its own, I feel like. It's different just because the way they haul in dirt to come there. It's not a regularly raced track, so it's kind of a special event.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, buddy. They to start with, hats off to Strickler for winning his heat there. That was really cool.
Yeah.
The track changed a lot from the heats to the feature, but it ended up being just like Bristol. And driving it like a short track, an asphalt short track.
Yep.
Keeping the truck as straight as possible. And, Eldora may have not been trucks on dirt may not be the best. Asphalt car on dirt may not make for the best racing, period. I agree with that. But at least at Eldora, and maybe they have learned things since then. If they go back to Eldora, maybe they'll run it the same way. But then, they were up on the cushion. They were...
Well, that's what I was fixated. You could use a slide job at Eldora.
Right.
You could dive a truck down in the corner and slide somebody.
They raced Eldora like a dirt track.
Yes.
What they learned, or what Martin Truex ruined, I think, for everybody, is how he raced Bristol, which they carried over to Knoxville. And you couldn't pass. You start on the outside, you're done.
Yep.
If you start on the outside, you lose 6, 7, 8 spots on a restart. It just wasn't no good, man.
You had to move somebody to pass. That's the only way you could do it, because they slowed down, took the bottom.
Well, and the heat races were awesome.
Yeah, the heat races were great while the track was still wet, and that's what Sheldon Creed said. I can't necessarily disagree with him. He was not happy with the racing there. He said he loved dirt track racing, but these trucks just didn't do it. He said we're gonna have to either, if we're gonna keep run these, we're gonna have to move the radiator, put the radiator in the back like an off-road truck or something, keep the mud out of it, take the windshields out of it, so we can run on a wet track. It's the only way you're gonna get good racing. He said this dried out stuff, when you locked in the bottom, it's just, everybody's got to go. He said he lost respect for everybody out there pretty much. And I don't know if y'all saw it, but Kyle Strickler, our buddy, had some pointed words kind of saying the same thing about a lot of those guys. He said, you're just getting hit every time you turn around. It wasn't just, nudging you or something. No, he said guys are just going in there slamming you. He said it's all these young boys that's in there anymore, and I can't disagree with him. He said none of them have to go back to the shop on Monday morning and fix this truck.
No, of course they don't.
He said, he's like, maybe if they did that, maybe they would race with some respect. But he said none of them have any respect out there anymore. It's crazy.
They do not. And, kind of like Joey brought up, last week, these young boys that don't, their sponsor or their parents or whatever write a check for their seat. That they don't understand what it means to to take care of stuff and earn respect from people. But no, it just, unfortunately, that's what you had to do. I mean, you go to a go-kart track now, a dirt track here locally around us. If you're going to pass somebody, you got to bump. You got to move them up out of the way. So it just wasn't that great. But the heat races were awesome. Seeing them be able to run the top and get the bite off the top was really cool. But, you know, it didn't take long. You know, me watching Strickler when they started that race, he just felt like a rock. I mean, you could not do anything up there.
It did. He said he was listened to a little bit, or I heard something on the radio. They said he was just searching for lines on there, and about coming into the last stage of the race, he was actually making up some time. I think he made it back up to 12th or so before that wreck, and then when that happened, just
that was it.
But I will say this, and I saw this. It was a little caption photo somebody had on, I can't remember if it was Twitter or what, but anyway, it showed a picture of a big old pile up on the front stretch of Knoxville. Then it showed a big old pile up on the front stretch at Darlington, and it said, "Is dirt really the problem?"
No, it's that thing we were just talking about. It's the respect thing. Yeah,
it's the loose nut between the steering wheel and the seat. That's the problem. Most of the time.
It had nothing to do with the dirt. It's just, I don't know, man. If they're gonna run them on dirt, they got to do something different. They're gonna have to get it wetter. They're gonna have to figure something out there because it's just not. There's nothing really to it. Once it slicks off, and you driving it like a asphalt track, there's not much to it.
I almost wish that once, maybe twice a year. I know this is wishful thinking, and it will never, ever, ever happen. I wish they go to these tracks, say Eldora, say Knoxville. If you want to do Bristol, that's great. Don't even run a truck, an Xfinity car, or a Cup car. Truck Series, run crate late models. Xfinity Series, run limited late models. Cup Series, run super late models.
Yeah, that would be. It would. It would.
It's never gonna happen, but I mean,
no, it would. You know,
but they claim to be NASCAR likes to claim that they have the best drivers in the world. Well, if you got the best drivers in the world, they ought to be able to drive anything.
I don't think NASCAR
I don't think they can. I don't either.
I think NASCAR has the most marketable and most rich people.
Exactly.
If they
got the platform to say that.
Because I'm telling you, man, the best drivers in the world are probably not even known.
Exactly.
Because you don't have the money to do it. So, you know, whatever. But anyway, I love dirt. In my opinion, I think you need to keep dirt cars on dirt.
Yep.
And you need to keep asphalt cars on asphalt.
Yep.
I don't think they've ever fixed that. They can't stage every possible situation to make this perfect. I think NASCAR went to the guys that prep Knoxville or own Knoxville, whatever. And these guys have been working this track for, I don't know, 700 years now.
Exactly.
And they know what they're doing, and they do it every week.
First race was run there in 1901.
Yeah, and they race weekly there. So these guys know how to work Knoxville. And they go tell them, okay, we don't want any dust. We don't want any mud. We don't want any of this. We don't want any of that. I'm like...
They don't want a dirt track.
Then go to asphalt. I mean, I don't understand.
I was waiting for them to go out there and put some PJ1 down in the...
I mean, it's unbelievable how much NASCAR has to stage a good race. They can't just bring the drivers, bring the cars to a racetrack and have a good race. Can't do it. You got to stage all this and try to make this in their head what it takes to make a good race. Well, it's just unreal now to me. It's just getting out of hand. And this stuff with Atlanta, you know, we'll get that in a second.
That's what I was fixing to say. That kind of brings it right to Atlanta.
I mean, you know, what they feel like puts on a good race in a track. Let's narrow the track. Let's put more banking in it. Let's do whatever. Let's put super glue on the racetrack. Whatever they got to do to what they think makes a good race.
Sounds like they're looking for a wreck.
I don't know what they're they said they go off of what the fans say. What I mean, do the fans want demolition derby or they want a race? I don't understand the difference. But they're, the fan base now I'll say the fan base that's the ones probably out voicing their opinion, if there are any. They say that, but who knows? I don't think they really understand what racing is.
No, these are the ones now who've grown up. All the racing they know was on a PlayStation or Xbox.
Right.
Where they can go in there and wreck the whole field, win the race, and hit reset.
Yeah, it's just so different now, man. It's so different. And I saw some stuff that I'm not gonna get into now, but I saw some stuff that NASCAR's trying to dip their hand in and trying to get this and that with a lot of it's with Post Malone and all this stuff, and I'm just like,
oh yeah,
what are they doing? I mean,
I understand trying to reach different. I don't even know what it is. I guess different groups of people.
Why
get a farther reach? This is my thing. The NFL don't have to go out and they let it happen organically. If that's my thing, is it's nothing new for, let's say, a rapper. I mean, we'll just go with a rapper. Post Malone is not a rapper, but we'll go with rapper. It is nothing new for a rapper to show up at a racetrack.
Well, but what my thing is, and this is my problem with it, is NASCAR feels like, or whoever's over it now, in my opinion, they feel like they have to change themselves.
Oh, they're letting the marketing
to be liked.
They're letting the marketing department run the sport.
If go to be yourself, be NASCAR, be what it started. Do that, and do what you think is right. Let's go race. Let's do that, and then whoever that attracts, I don't care. That's great. Attract more people.
That's the true fan.
But don't change to try to attract people. Don't change to have a tiki bar in the middle of 3 and 4 to attract somebody.
I think they got that at Charlotte. I'm
pretty sure they do. But I mean, it is unbelievable to me. I mean, I know they have to change with the times, and they got to do this, and they got to have 5G, and
I was going to say they got Wi-Fi everywhere.
Wi-Fi in the bathrooms.
The track is right there in front of you, but everybody's sitting there watching it on their phone.
I mean, it is ridiculous to me, and I kind of relate it back because I love baseball too. I think everybody that knows me knows that. I love baseball. Go to a baseball game. That has not changed in 100 years.
No, the game has not. The stadiums probably have done. Bigger, they've done the same thing as NASCAR.
They're nicer.
Track,
they're whatever.
Wi-Fi, all that junk.
But I mean, it's baseball.
Yeah.
It's racing.
Yeah.
You go there. This is it. We ain't got to change everything to accommodate this person or that person. This is it. Let's go do us. Let's play baseball. The game of baseball has not changed. Period.
Well, my whole thing with Atlanta, this is my whole deal with Atlanta, is okay, whatever, you made up this formula, I guess, that you come up with that's going to produce X type racing on the track. One, Atlanta has had some good racing. It's had some close finishes at it. But in all honesty, in my opinion, most races have been pretty doggone boring at Atlanta ever since they changed it from a true oval track.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's had some really exciting close finishes. Just like Sunday, the last 20 laps of the race were an awesome race between Kurt and Kyle Busch. But other than that, it's kind of follow the leader.
Well, prime example, they shortened that race by 100 laps, 100 miles.
Yeah.
Could you tell?
No.
If they had shortened it by 200 miles, could you tell?
Probably not.
No, you wouldn't have.
You could have run 50 laps.
Exactly.
And it had the same outcome, bro.
That's the problem with it. That's the problem. And that's the only reason it is, go back to what they've changed.
Exactly. But I don't agree with Denny Hamlin hardly ever.
Yeah.
Ever. But he had some really good points talking about changing track. He was like, who is coming up with these ideas? I mean, at track, you got, they say this is what the fans want. Okay, whatever. He said his whole thing is about it. He said he's not happy with it. He doesn't think it's going to produce good racing. He said, but NASCAR isn't necessarily looking for the same thing the drivers are looking for. He knows that. Everybody knows that. Drivers want to be able to drive the track and be as comfortable as they can. That's just what they want. They don't want to be uncomfortable driving. I say NASCAR. Normally fans want have a better race experience if the drivers are not comfortable driving the car. He said, but this is the thing. He said, NASCAR never once came to us. They don't have a driver's council anymore. He said, but they never came to any driver, telling us what they're trying to accomplish. Never did. He said, if they would come to us and just say, we want to accomplish X, he said, we might not like it. He said, but we're going to give them feedback of how you accomplish X. But the whole time we're going to be telling them we don't like it.
Right.
He said, but there's not even that conversation.
No, there's not. And I mean, there's different arguments to that. But it's just, to me, it just goes back to them trying to generate excitement. And that, to me, is if you can't put them things in a bowl and let them race and it's not exciting, then something's wrong. It's just like they're trying too hard to generate what they consider a good race. But you're going to put brand new asphalt on Atlanta. Them cars are going to be stuck to the racetrack. You ain't going to be, I mean,
you're adding 4 degrees of banking.
They're not going to move.
No.
I don't know if anybody was watching Atlanta yesterday, but if you watch any in-car, them fools was jumping up and down, hands, moving all over the place.
Well,
I
understand they had to repave it. Some of them was falling apart. It had been falling apart for years.
It has been. But, I don't think going from what it was yesterday to putting brand new asphalt on is going to make a better race. Putting more banking in, what is it going to do?
I've got a huge unpopular opinion, and I've had this for years, is I think the more and more banking they're putting in these tracks is ruining the racing at most of them.
Yes, it is.
Because the cars don't move around. It's like they find one groove that's the fast groove, and they're just wide open in that groove.
Mm-hmm.
And Texas, they took out some banking out of 1 and 2. And in my opinion, Texas has made a lot better racing since they took that banking out. I'm like, all right, now go to 3 and 4, do the same thing.
Yeah.
Let's take some more out. My thing is, if you give them a fast track that they actually have to slow down and use the brake at, it's going to make for a lot better race.
Yeah.
But when they just get out there and running wide open, but the problem is, and this is probably going to split our audience some on this opinion, is you have so many people, and the best ratings of every year tracks are restricted plate. Well, not restricted plate anymore, but super speedways. Daytona and Talladega. It's the best ratings every year. You know why they're the best ratings? Everybody's watching for the crash.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're going to try to replicate now, for ratings, they're going to try to replicate that at even 1.5 mile tracks. I just don't think that's the way to go.
No, it's not.
I don't think making the track narrower so you can't pass, but the only way you're going to be able to pass is your whole line move up, just like Daytona or Talladega. And you've taken this track that was 3.5, 4 lanes at some parts, and now you're making it 2.5 lanes, 3 lanes at most, and trying to tell them guys they're going to go wide open around it on a 1.5 mile track now. From what I understand, the new car is a little bit slower. So
That's a good thing.
that's that. Well, it is. But when you do add all those together, you're creating pack racing.
Oh, for sure. There's no doubt it's going to be pack racing. I mean, pretty much about every mile and a half is going to be pack racing next year.
It's going to be drafting all the time.
And that's what they want. Instead of having Daytona and Talladega, they'll have 10 tracks, whatever it is.
Dale Jr. going to come back and win everything.
He might, though. Come on, son. But no, I don't know, dude. It's just trying to make it. Just that's what's that's what is unfortunate to me is trying to generate excitement. It can't be exciting.
It's not organic anymore, though.
No, it's not. I mean, I relate back to dirt racing or any type of dirt racing, like we just talked about. Slower 358 Northeast Modifieds versus big blocks. My opinion puts on a better race. They're slower,
but they get on a slick track and they can run together.
But it don't matter where you go. You go to Volusia, you go to wherever. Put on a good show. They ain't gotta do nothing special, bro. You just race and it puts on a good show. I think that's what's really. I think it's getting under their skin now, bad NASCAR wise, that they can't just organically make excitement.
No, can't happen.
So it's, and that draws us all the way back to Knoxville. And that's.
I remember going to Rockingham back in the day, Bo, and or Darlington, but I really remember just sitting in Rockingham seats before the race. You didn't see nothing happen on that track. Track was gray as could be. The only laps they had on there was practice and qualifying. That was it. Cars got out there and raced. Sometimes it might string out a little bit, but then eventually you're going to see a guy come off two and nail the wall.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just organic, hard racing. But the difference was it wasn't the tracks. The tracks haven't changed. That's my thing. They're changing the tracks, but the tracks haven't changed. It's these cars. When they got so much downforce in these cars.
Too easy to drive.
They're glued to the track, and they're so easy to drive. And I think he was a great driver. Don't get me wrong, because I think he could drive anything. But Jeff Gordon was the most hilarious at it to me. You'd listen on the radio, and he'd say he was wrecking loose all the time. And you'd watch the in-car camera, and it looked like his hands moved an inch. But he was wrecking loose.
Yeah. Yes, it's another era, but is what it is. Austin Hill took home the win in Knoxville.
Kind of a surprise win there after that wreck.
Yeah, that wreck kind of shook everything up for sure. But, like I say, there was a lot of dirt ringers in there, Strickler and
Chris Wyndham.
Chris Wyndham was there.
That was a last-minute deal, though.
Yeah, because Michael Lynette, he got injured there a little bit.
He messed his leg up, apparently.
Donnie Schatz was there.
I'm sorry. I mean, don't get me wrong. Donnie Schatz is a great driver. He is a great sprint car driver. I've seen him in a late model do good things. I have. But, my Lord Fox, come on now.
They trying, bro. They trying so hard to get dirt fans. That's all it is.
You're not getting that many dirt fans just talking about Donnie Schatz the whole night, though.
No, you're not. You're not. But if anybody possibly was tuning in because Donnie Schatz was running that race, they made sure that they realized that you were there because.
Well, I tuned in because Kyle Strickler was running the race, and I didn't hear Kyle Strickler's name hardly ever.
They interviewed him after his heat win, and that was it. But they definitely they was giving the praise to Donnie Schatz, and we've seen it before, man. It's no different with Strickler, with anybody else. Them guys, especially the way the track turned, those guys that run the dirt or the trucks all the time, they know how to drive the trucks. They know the limitations of the trucks. When the track turned to basically dusty asphalt, they go run up front.
Yeah.
Donnie, and I don't care what Donnie Schatz drives on dirt, it ain't no truck. And Kyle Strickler, it ain't no truck. Scott Bloomquist run a truck at
Jessica-
Eldora.
Jessica Friesen had a tough time.
Yeah, but it
But it's-
doesn't. There's no comparison to driving what
No.
they drive to that truck,
No, the only comparison there is it's on dirt.
and there's 4 tires.
There's 4 tires. That is literally it.
100%. So, I really did not expect, the dirt guys to do anything, special in the race. And the heats for sure, because the track was still wet. So, you could kind of see their expertise in that a little bit. But when you couldn't run what was cushioned, then you couldn't run that kind of took that out of the equation. But you were not going to win that race. You weren't going to finish top 10 in that race driving the truck like a dirt car. You would not do it.
No.
Because I don't know if anybody saw, but Stuart Friesen was driving his truck early in the race, was driving his truck like a dirt car, and the right rear looked like a slick.
Yep.
He burnt every bit of the rubber off of it.
Then he slowed it down, run on the bottom, and come back up front.
Yep. So it's just, there's no comparison. You cannot relate. You cannot take your expertise driving a dirt car on dirt at Knoxville. I don't care if you run every week there and go run a truck there. There's nothing you can take from that.
I think about the closest thing that you could probably get to saying it'd be similar to it would be either a street stock,
Yeah.
or a like they run up north, the pro stocks.
Right.
That is the closest thing you would have to a truck on asphalt.
Yeah.
I mean on dirt, but it's nowhere close still.
Right. Yeah. No, it's not. It's too heavy and they just ain't made for it. But
Nope.
But anyway, so that's that. Is what it is. We'll see what they do next year. I don't know what all kind of dirt stuff's gonna be, but I'm sure they'll be trying some more.
Yep. And saw some stuff on there. Looked like possibly, I'm not sure, Kyle Busch might have won his 102nd and final Xfinity race.
Yep, that's all he's got scheduled for the foreseeable future, from what I saw. And I kind of figured that would happen once he hit 100. I think he would kind of wanted to, well, say wanted to, but I think he would rather spend his extracurricular time with Brexton now, because Brexton's running a lot more,
Especially on Saturdays.
And and I don't blame him.
No.
I would much rather spend my time with my little boy racing. So I think that's what he wants to do. He got his milestone. It was his 100 that he wanted to do. He set out to do, and he did it. And go spend time with your boy.
For sure. And then come Sunday, it was the Busch on Busch battle.
Yeah.
Pretty much about the whole race.
Yeah, they dominated the whole thing. I mean, Kurt, I can't remember how many. He led 160 or 100 and something odd laps.
Yeah, it's really funny to me, though. And it's always ironic, and I'm not saying there's anything to it, so don't take me wrong. I'm really not. But it's always ironic, especially when something like this, big happens in the sport to a team. Chip Ganassi Racing just announced that, they sold out. Done. Well, all of a sudden, Kurt's been around the top 5 all year, top 10 for sure, but he hadn't really been contending for first.
Well, he hasn't been dominating. And that,
No.
That's what he did yesterday. So yeah, you're right. It kind of is ironic, but Ross Chastain's been running really good up front past few weeks too. So maybe they're going to step off on the right foot and keep that momentum going for them for next season.
Well, Ross Chastain was running good up front yesterday too. The only problem was he just wasn't on the lead lap.
Well, one thing I'll say about Ross Chastain, he's always been this way, and he's very open about it. He's upfront about it, and he don't really care what nobody thinks. He is a team player.
I promise you, he is a team player.
That fool is a team player.
If you want a team player on your team, you better pick Ross Chastain.
He has been that way from the get-go. I don't care if he's in a 10th place car or a 40th place car or a winning car. He is going to give you 100%.
And if he can't win, he's going to do everything he can to help his teammate win.
Yep. And he made it look so good, too, man. He really did. I mean,
But I will say, in my opinion, he didn't do anything wrong.
No, he didn't. I mean, he went to the top. Kurt was running the bottom. Kyle was running the top. Lap cars go to the top. They pretty much said that about the whole race. I was listening to them. Lap cars going to the top. He went to the top. I mean,
he went top.
Is what it is. I don't really know why. It didn't look like it really didn't look like Kyle had already set up to enter 3 on the top when Ross went up there, really. So I was kind of surprised that he didn't go to the bottom. Yeah. But I guess he had already drove it in a little or backed it up, whatever, to run the top, and he committed. But Kurt was a lot faster than him than Kyle Busch was at the end of that race. I don't know if he would have been able to pass him. I don't know, but I think he would have definitely caught him. And there was other lap cars that played into that after they got around Ross. So it still may have worked out the same way. But, Ross knew that car, Kurt's car, was not in the playoffs. So they wanted to make sure a Ganassi car was in the playoffs, and they definitely succeeded at that. And Ross is really close to pointing his way in. Another thing is 6 races left, but Ross is pretty close. So if he keeps running the way he's running, they may end up pointing their way in.
Is he within the top 16?
I can't remember. I
know outside. Well, outside is pretty far back.
All right, I can't remember. I'll look at it right quick while you.
I don't know. I mean, I can't. There's two ways to look at this, in my opinion. You either look at it as he was trying to help a teammate out, or you can look at it as dude was trying to stay on the lead lap. Right. Either way, I can't necessarily fault him.
Right.
There is nothing in the rule book that says you can't fight to stay on the lead lap. There is nothing in the rule book that says where to go when the leaders are coming. I mean, people don't have to like it, but I promise you, and I've seen it happen. If, let's say, just like this year, if that would have been roles reversed, it would have been Denny Hamlin fighting up there with Kurt Busch, and Kyle Busch was the one going a lap down. I promise you, Kyle would have blocked his own brother to try to get Denny a win, because Denny, even though he's technically in the points lead, he don't have a win, and he needs some good playoff points going into the playoffs.
Right. Yeah, he definitely does. And there's Ross is 48 points out of 16th. If I'm reading that right, it's freaking confusing. But there is 12 different winners now.
I just really wanted one year to get to 17.
I know it. And what amazes me is there's 12 different winners, and Denny Hamlin is still 4th as the playoffs started today.
Yeah, he's still first in point. I mean, he's still first. 10 points ahead of Larson.
Unbelievable, really. And Kevin Harvick's 14th, no win. Tyler Reddick 15th, no win. Austin Dillon 16th, no win. So, Ross Chastain is 19th right now. Matty D's 18th. Man, there's some good cars.
I was going to say, I'd love to see Matt Benedetto come up and win one. There's a few of them out there. That Ross Chastain, I'd love to see him jump up there and win one. Man, it'd be NASCAR would not know what to do if Denny Hamlin,
if the regular season
champion, was not in the
playoffs. Man, they be pulling out their sticky stuff in a hurry. They be trying to figure out. They pull
to get Jeff Gordon on it. Well, we're going to add a 17th place this year too.
Yeah, something will happen. I can assure you. Somebody will be hurt or something. Something will happen.
There was an illegal car. That car was illegal.
Yeah. Michael McDowell. It didn't work. But anyway, yeah. So, like you said, last 20 laps was pretty good there. Glad Kurt got another win. They said something about it, I can't remember, but it's been like a lot of years in a row that he has got at least one win.
Yeah.
I think he's 42 years old now. It might be 18. Wait, was it 18? I can't remember.
Probably about right, yeah.
So that's pretty
I know
cool.
he won his championship our senior year in high school. It was 2003 he won his championship.
Yeah. So he is tied with Fireball Roberts, I think 25th overall for the most winningest driver in the Cup Series, I think, with 33 now. So pretty good for him there. So he's wanting to stick around for next year in a new car if that works out.
I think he'll be going with the team he's got over to Trackhouse.
With as much sponsorship that Monster gives him,
Yeah,
I think he will too.
That Monster would be a good fit sponsorship wise at Trackhouse.
Yeah, I think they'll definitely kind of keep that. And if they do, they're gonna have to keep Kurt, I think.
I could see Pitbull drinking a Monster right now.
Yeah, that would make good sense. That's good stuff. But so yeah, lot to see what happens there coming up. But all in all, it was a pretty rainy weekend for a lot of other racing around here anyway.
Yeah. They ain't get much in around these parts. I know another good one. Our buddy Blake Roark got him another win over at Sumter Speedway.
Did it rain?
No, didn't.
Wow. Well, he's killing them over there now, man. I tell you what.
I told him he was learning well because I wrote him. I said, "Man, that's awesome, dude." He said that Chicken Bone Alley sticker just made it faster every lap. I said, "You're learning well."
Yeah, he got it down pat now. Exactly.
So, good deal with him. If y'all are still listening here, guys, we have officially put up all the entry. We have opened up for entries into the Chicken Bone Alley summer. What's this thing called? Shootout.
Summer shootout.
Summer shootout.
Shootout.
The Chicken Bone Alley summer shootout on iRacing. We are open for entries. Go on our Facebook page. Check it out. $1,000 to the winner this year.
Yeah, that's pretty good money.
$1,000. I'd like to win. I won't, but I'd like to win.
I might not even enter because I know I ain't gonna win that. Them guys is gonna be ridiculous.
Got a couple weeks still left to enter. Go check out. Like I said, we put up a post on Facebook to detail how to enter. The only thing people have asked us is what cars and tracks we're running. We hadn't announced it yet. It'll be coming out here soon, but I'm going to tell y'all this. It's a mixture of asphalt and dirt.
It might be asphalt cars on dirt.
No, it won't.
What you mean, man?
No, it won't.
What you mean? We're trying to generate some stuff here.
No. It doesn't work.
No.
Well, I will put it this way. The trucks work better on dirt on iRacing than they do in real life.
Yeah, no doubt. For sure.
So y'all go check it out. We're going to have some good paybacks. Got some good prizes coming up. We will be announcing it here in the weeks to come leading up to it. We start August the 3rd. If you want to enter, you need to be entered. I hadn't put a date on it, but I'm going to put it, at least about a week or so ahead of that. So you only got a couple weeks to enter.
Yeah, y'all got to go jump on there.
I think we only given 45 spots. That's all we taking.
How much is it to enter?
$25 to enter for the entire season.
Entire season.
That gives you the entire season, 8 races.
Yep. Buy 7 entries, you get 1 free.
Yeah, sure.
Pretty good deal.
If you want to enter in that many spots, I guess that gives you a few more spots. You'll finish better. The other 6 guys didn't show up this week.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, it's going to be a fun time. It's going to be broadcast on Soaked Tires Broadcasting. We want to thank EMFR Performance, our buddy Earl Ramey over there, coming on sponsoring with us, along with Grease Monkey Mooresville. They are co-presenting sponsors of the Chicken Bone Alley Summer Shootout. Also want to thank Palmetto Machine and Fabrication, Northeast Auto Imports. We also got our buddies SRI Performance on there. Another podcast here, the Blood Eagle Racing Podcast. They're coming on board, racing with us, and buddies of ours. And then BS Racing. So y'all, we appreciate all them for sure. Coming on, helping us out, ready to have some fun with us. It gets competitive. Boy, it gets competitive. Last year it got really competitive.
I ain't lying, but I thought somebody would throw a steering wheel or something.
Man, whew. It could have happened. It really could have happened. So yeah, y'all get ready to come on, have some fun with us. But what else we got this week? Anything?
Man, that's all I know of, dude. I'm gonna go put me some aloe on and take another hot shower, I believe.
Maybe need a cold shower. Maybe that'll work better. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
I'm open to trying about anything.
All right, guys. We want to thank, as always, SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel, helping us out here every week. Our buddy Randy Keene, RK Motorsports Consulting, along with Team SRI Motorsports. Ford Bite Apparel. Y'all go check out our buddy Coltrane and his business partner and dad, I guess you'll say, Mark Vanderheiden over at Ford Bite. Get some cool apparel. You're going to need it for the summer. And it's never too early to start Christmas shopping. It's past July 4th. That's my thing. If it's past July 4th, I can start listening to Christmas music.
That's it, bro. You got it.
I'm like, Pat, I'm closer to Christmas. I'm closer to this coming Christmas than I am the previous Christmas.
That's correct.
So that means I can start listening to Christmas music. That's my theory anyway.
You in, Bo.
So, being that said, if y'all want to go order me some Ford Bite apparel for Christmas, jump on it. I will take it. Go check them out. Checkered, the race hub, all racing all the time. The social media for racing. We ain't talking about Aunt Sally's cats and nephews and nieces and whatever else on there unless they're racing. They race cats anywhere?
They might, but ain't no telling. Right?
There's probably a page on there if they're racing them somewhere, because there's every type of racing represented on Checkered, which is really cool. They got a page for lawnmower racing, RC racing, E-racing as they call it, because they don't just specify iRacing. I mean, you can be in NASCAR 2003, Forza, whatever. You can talk about it on there as long as it's racing. You can talk about it. So if you're not on Checkered, be sure to go get on Checkered. You'll like it. And we appreciate all them coming on every week, helping us out.
For sure.
For sure. But anyway, guys, well, I reckon y'all will for sure be hearing from us probably before the next podcast. Y'all will probably be hearing from us this weekend at the Carolina Sizzler. If you're in the area, which is Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, any of those areas, Georgia, that's the area. Come to the Carolina Sizzler, hang out with us. We'll be walking around the pits all day, and who knows what we'll be doing. Well, we'll be hanging out, doing something. I'll come talk to Mr. Dalton Lamb. Appreciate him coming on. Greg Martin, thank him today for coming out and hanging out with us. So anyway, guys, y'all catch us this weekend. If not, we will catch you next podcast.
Later.